Hey, what's up, guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another Tuesday stream where we're going to be talking about Legendary Game of Heroes, and we're going to take a look at the upcoming Earth Commander event in the Radiant Sphinx season. The event name is called, let's take a look at the event. The event name is called Strength of the Wilds. And so we're going to take a look at the deck. If you take a look at the news feed, one of the things that they've one of the things that they said about this deck is that it's a double attack plus Halloween deck. So I don't actually know why it's called a Halloween deck necessarily, but I know why they call it a double attack. So these are the characteristics of this deck. They're saying that it has a really big damage boost. We'll take a look at that. It attacks multiple times. And it also has power gems that have no cooldowns for turn after turn decimation, they say. And so this is the characteristics of the deck. So we're going to take a look at the cards themselves, and we're going to try and open them. And so we'll see how, we'll see what cards we get. I can at least craft one card, so we can always go with that option. And just a reminder too, the Commander events have been updated a little bit since the last time they had it. So one of the things is the HP should be reduced. I think it's about 10% reduction in the health. The number of waves has been decreased to cap at 6 total. And then also the number of keys are going to be dropping a little bit more. So it should be a little bit, better than before, where the keys are very random. And so those are the changes to look forward to. And just saying hello to everybody in the chat. Hope you guys all have had a good week so far. Not a good day. I just wanted to say, with the passing of Eddie Van Halen, I wanted to, I know that a lot of people are probably big fans. I was a big fan of Soundgarden when I was younger as well. And so sad news, 2020 cannot be done quick enough. Let's just say that. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and enjoy yourselves for this stream here. Let's take a look. And did you notice? Take a look at the background of the deck here. It's got this all glowy thing happening. I've never seen this before. This looks new. All right, so let's take a look at the cards. And hey, are you guys happy that the boys is finally done and over? Like no more boys to deal with. So it was a 5-week long event. I think it was a little bit long, to be honest with you. And I'm glad that it's over. So back to the regular deck. Let's take a look at our cards, and we're gonna go and pull. So Primal Protectors is the ultimate form, and it's a chaotic killer. So it's chaotic killer, and so we're gonna take a look at the other cards that are also available, and I have a couple of teams already set up that you can take a look, and so we're going to check them out. So Pink5, welcome to the stream here, fellow guildmate. Thank you for joining me here. All right, so Primal Protectors has a battle skill called Four Fanged Frenzy, which creates 7 Earth Power Gem 5s and increases the self damage. So this is not attack, this is damage by 20% for 2 turns. What I don't know is when they say 20% damage boost, if that gets impacted by a 3-key attack or not. Because I know that there's usually that issue where if you go with a 3-key attack, the 5 times boost gets applied to your damage. And so this technically could become 100% damage boost to the card itself. I don't know if that's going to be the case, so we're going to have to test it out. And it's also got just a 1-turn cooldown, so you can activate this every single turn. Has a 9 gem charge rate. So it's kind of like when you had the water card, the Lost Kingdom Guardians or the Honor Bell Luminaries. Basically, it's like that without the ambush, right? After you've hit the ambush, you can activate them, but they can only create 7 at a time. This one will do it 1 turn, every single turn instead of every 2 turns. And so it's not too bad as a skill. It is Power Gem 5. And it also has a passive ability that will basically attack for 50% of the main attack. That would be the full attack, I think. And it will create 3 Earth Power Gem 5s also at the end whenever you attack. So you're basically getting more power gems also. So as an ultimate form, this feels like it's a little bit lacking compared to the previous decks that has also passive gem, gem spawns, etc. This is really just a pure quick gem spawn and a damage increase. With 7 gems though, you're gonna have to use multiple copies of a Master Collection card in order to really hope to fill the board more than halfway. And so we're gonna take a look and see what the other options are also. All right. Okay, so other cards are in the deck right here. So we'll start with the Master Collection card, which is called Rogar. So Rogar is the Master Collection card that also creates 7 Power Gem 5s. And it also increases the self damage by 20%. And so this is basically this exact same skill as the ultimate form. And that's it. There's no passive abilities or anything like that. And it dispels blind. I think the thing I didn't check is what the ultimate form will dispel. So we have blind so far, and we have weaken. So far we've got weaken and blind. So weaken is going to be a challenge to anybody who's considering using the jailer's card, because it will be impacted by weaken. So you're gonna have to make sure you bring in the counter for it. And the reason why this card has that dispel is because it gives a 20% damage buff, and so it will also get hit by weaken. So if you can't dispel it, then you're gonna be in trouble. So hopefully they've fixed that bug where weaken last commander event, you could not dispel weaken whatsoever, even if you brought in the warden, and they had to change that. So I think they've fixed it and they're bringing it back, although their insistence and their persistence on trying to bring in chaos and weaken in every single commander event gets a little tiring. So we're gonna just have to deal with it. So let's see. So the Master Collection card increases. Let's see. The question is, the Master Collection card increases over 2 turns instead of a single turn. All right. So the Master Collection card increases the self damage by 20% for 2 turns. Does the ultimate form not do that? I didn't actually notice. That's a good call. No, it's the same. So the ultimate form also increases the damage for 2 turns, and so it is exactly the same. And then the ultimate form with the ultra rare card, Gilded Huntress, is it just very simply creates 4 power gem 5s as the battle skill, and it has a 2-turn cooldown. And so it doesn't have the same cooldown. I don't know why. I don't know why they wouldn't just let you have a 1-turn cooldown on this. Like, why not just make it a full 1-turn cooldown deck? Like, I don't know the reasoning. And then the passive ability, this is the one that will give the 50% attack, and you'll create 3 earth power gem every time you attack. And so, like I said, there's no reason whatsoever that the battle skill for this card should be limited to 2 turns. I think 1 turn would have been okay. And this one also dispels chaos. So we'll take a look at the support card and see what it dispels. The support card is called the Eagle Eye Bika, and it creates 8 earth gems, and that's it, right? But the passive ability is it heals whenever you attack, but the heal is at 5,000% hero recovery, which is very small. So you're not actually going to heal a whole lot with the support card. So I don't really consider that to be that good of a skill, to be honest with you. But 8 earth gems is a little bit, excuse me, is actually a little bit of a little bit worse than the previous versions where you can get 10. So number of gems wise, it creates less here. Let's see. Cycle, you got 2 Master Collection cards. You don't have enough to craft the ultimate card. So I'm going to talk a little bit later on like the strategies I employ to try and make sure that I can craft a card every event or every other event. And so let's take a look now. Marcos Reyes, nice to get in the stream. Thank you for joining here. Glad that you were able to make it just before I finish up. All right, we're going to take a look at the event card, then we're going to go and pull a few tiers here. So Soraya and Azar is the event card. Now, this is a really good event card because this card can create 6 Earth Power Gem 4s every single turn. I think that as far as event cards go, this probably has taken over as like top 1 or 2 in terms of the ability. All right, just for the sheer fact that if you get a couple of these these event cards, like you don't even need the full team, just get a couple of these cards and you are already prepped to build a dual affinity deck with this setup. So I think this is a really, really good card, and this will dispel blind. So we got blind, weaken, and chaos. Those are the 3 things to deal with. So definitely Soraya and Azar. You'll get it by tier 4. You could potentially get it as a trophy collections and also anytime during the tiers there. Unfortunately, I don't have the full collection this time. I don't have Sweet Steel Hanzo, so I'm actually hoping I can pull that either earlier or through the event collection so that I can at least fill it up. All right, so let's take a look here. I've got 29 coins, so if I get 13 more coins, I'll be able to craft at least 1 card. So that means tier 4 for me right now. So let's take a look and let's see. So you've got a full team at 3 stars and a relic at 2 stars. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so let's see. Let's see how we do. And I also got VIP, just to be transparent. I ended up getting VIP near the end of last event. My rationale here is if I'm going to be investing every season by buying gems, it's actually more worth it for me to get VIP instead, so that I can, you know, basically build up my gems over time, and I can get extra pulls every tier. Increases the chance of me getting a deck here. So that's just my personal choice. Not that you need to do it, but I just wanted to try and maximize my chances of pulling the deck if I can. So let's go and see how we do on our first tier. Hey, I got the card I needed. So I got the card that I'm missing from my collection. So that's actually not too bad. That was the one that I needed, Sweet Hanzo Steel, Sweet Steel Hanzo. And let's go tier 2, tier 3, and hope for the best. Because if I can just pull one of the two, I will be able to craft the deck, and I want to showcase that for sure. And honestly, I think that if I were to select between either one of the two, if I were to try and decide between Master Collection card or the Ultimate Form, the Ultra Rare card, I might choose the Master Collection card just because of its utility. Like, you can use, you're getting increased damage and also 7 Power Gem 5s every single turn. I don't think that is too bad of an option there. Although I would never really recommend getting just one if you can't get the other. I always recommend try and go for the full team if you could. All right, tier 3. Come on, let's hope for a good one here. So no gold card so far. It's just going to be the relic. So we just got the Wild Axis. That's tier 3. So we're banking on tier 4 at this point. Hope for the best. And if I can't, then I guess I will not be able to show the deck this event, or at least this stream, and then we will have to take a look next, because I'm not going to go tier 5 here. I mean, I could, but if I do, then I'm basically going to use up all my gems. And so I'm going to have to rely on some luck here. Well, I got a gold card, but it's another relic. Got my second Hanzo. I got my third relic. And this is the event card, Soraya and Azar. 3 relics, no card. I could craft. Like, I could actually craft if I needed to. But unfortunately, not going to happen here. So like I said, if I were to craft one, it is going to be the Master Collection card. And given that I don't have one yet, I'm not going to craft one of the two. What I could do is I could try for the 500 gem later on, just to see. But one of the strategies I typically employ, and that I've started employing, just so you know, so that I can try and get enough of the coins here, is you basically need to pull 14 times total to get 42 coins. And if you consider that you can get 6 coins during the event and more if you have VIP, and then if you have the historical collections, you can get up to 3. That's basically 3 out of the 14 pulls. So you need to do 11 pulls within the event. And so if you can do like tier 1 to tier 2 of all of the historical vaults, that should help you get enough coins season, like, even after event. And so that's why I started doing, and it's been helping here. Although I was kind of hoping that out of the 4 tiers I would have pulled one. I would have loved to replace one of the Master Collection, one of the relics with a Master Collection card or a Ultra Rare. That would have been awesome. I mean, I pulled extra gold cards. I just can't get anything other than relics, which to me is extremely frustrating. So anyways, instead of that, what I'll do is I will show the 2 setups I was kind of thinking about. This first one doesn't really require the event deck. So this one takes advantage of the Chaotic Killer bonus from Intrepid Voyagers, and that is Chaotic Killer. So you're going with Slayer, and so we're going to use Hard One Gorillas to do our damage. And so we're going to use Jailers as the card that's going to boost our Hard One Gorillas, and I'm using Jailers because it gives me 600% health for all Arcane Earth heroes, which includes Hard One. And then Defiant Duet is here because it pairs super well with Jailers, and it also dispels Weaken. And so this is a very specific setup. Like, this is sort of like, if you have this combination, go for it. And it's kind of a it has all ultimate forms, right? So it's not one of those like, oh, anybody could have this, but it's just, if you don't have luck this event, but you happen to have this combination, then you can go for that. And Lost Kingdom Guardians works best when you pair up with Arcane, so that's why I chose this. But you can use any other cards that's for off affinity if you wanted to. The second setup that I have here uses the count. So I'm trying to use the count, which is the other Chaotic Killer commander card, and that's the ultimate form. It's available in the Proving Grounds right now. If you are looking for a ultimate form to forge, this is a good option to go for. All right, because the count is a good card. It does spawn a lot of power gems as long as you can get the commander skills, or is it the Chaotic Killer? As long as you can get the commander skill points to be high enough, you'll be able to spawn a lot of power gems. The count coupled with the Devilish Duel. Devilish Duel is the ultimate form, and the count is the Master Collection card. All right. Intrepid Voyagers. The reason I kept it in here, nothing like, it doesn't have to be here. It's just that this also counters blind. So if I'm going up against blind, I could use this, and it also gives me, it gives me Earth Chaotic Killer boost for health, so it does also help that I have the count and also Devilish Duel, and Devilish Duel gives me a 50% health increase. So this is going to be a very tanky team. It gives me a tanky team, and that allows me to bring in something like Afterlife Alliance, for example, which gives me the ability to create a ton of power gems that whenever I attack, and then I can overwrite them with my Earth gems. Alternatively, you could also choose to use this deck, which is another Chaotic Killer. And so it's going to be a Light Commander Chaotic Killer, which is the Starborn Sentinels. Now, Starborn Sentinels passively create power gems, and it kind of is a little bit outdated already because it only creates one, and it'll create so passively it'll create 4, but then 3, I'm sorry, but then like if the enemies are burning, then it'll create 4, and then over time you're going to create more and more as you increase Chaotic Killer intensity. But this is going to be a passive spawn, and so this is also not a bad choice. If you were to go with this, for example, then you can bring in your light chaotic relics to break the shield, and then you could also increase the intensity. Okay, so these are the two setups I was thinking about, and we can test them out. But what I want to do is I want to try out the deck here. So instead of the Intrepid Voyagers, I'm going to bring in the Earth Commander Chaotic Killer, which is the event card. All right, so Soraya and Azar, because this is a really good card, right? Even at 4 stars, it's going to do well. So we're going to bring this deck, and we're going to try it out against our gold trial boss. And I already have one summoned, so let's go ahead and battle. So let's take a look here. So we're going to go ahead and go up against Sentry Storm, which is perfect because Sentry Storm is a spirit boss and is weak to Chaotic Killer. So we're going to go with this team here, and we want to see how much damage we can do. So yeah, so this setup is, like I said, it's not going to be for everybody, but I think that if you happen to have the cards, it's something you can definitely try out. So let's go ahead and try this. So we're going to try and bring down the armor because I only have 4 cards in here. We're not going to be able to bring it down as quickly, but I can activate this every turn now. So I can, so this creates 6 power gem 4s every single turn. You just need to make sure that you can actually, activate them every turn. So if you had the ultimate form, you would activate them. You would just simply activate all the cards all the time, and you're going to be able to get the get a charge every turn. You can use it, and so this deck could have a significant guild versus guild impact for sure, right? So if you can activate it every single turn, you could really take on a lot of bosses. So like a lot of the water water defenders might have some issues there. Oh, so that's the reason why I took out. That's why I had Intrepid Voyagers in there. So it's not going to work as well. But let's just see how well we do in this case. Let's go ahead and close it out, and then we will test out the deck as is. So Magic Man, you were right. I after I took it out, I didn't think about it. The reason why I had it in the first place was because I wanted to have the Chaotic Killer, but I just wanted I just wanted to showcase the event card, which I guess is what I'm doing now. So I'm gonna go ahead and showcase this, and then we will see how much damage we can do here, and then we'll switch out, and then we'll try it again with the deck. And also, if you have Sirens, I think Prozac, you mentioned the Sirens. Sirens is also going to be a good option because you can also use Sirens to increase the Chaotic Killer bonus. Okay, so let's go ahead and just give it a try here. So I think I'll start with this. And then let's go ahead and activate everything. See if we can manage to actually override some power gems. Just to see how much damage we can do here. So 3 trillion. Let's see if we can... Yeah, so we'll be able to take it out because I was able to deal 1.3 trillion without the killer boost for Hard 1 Gorillas. So it's just one of those things where the card is just super strong with that combination. All right, let's see if we can get a core out of that. No core? No core. Okay. We got the eyes and bones, but no core there, right? And so the other deck that I'm showcasing is going to be this one. So this one with Intrepid Voyagers, this is... it's really just going to boost itself. Let's see. What do I want to do? What do I want to do here? I think I want to swap this out for Chaotic Killer because I think no. I think I'm gonna keep it as is. I'm gonna keep it as is here. I'm going to use the Afterlife Alliance. I think there's higher chance of people having the Afterlife Alliance as opposed to Starborn Sentinels, I think, right? So let's see how this deck works. So the idea here is with this setup, you want to build up your chaotic intensity. So the relics I'm putting here is not chaotic. You need to boost up some commander skill points, and so I have some of the relics that went with my Defiant Devilish Duel. There's so many names are so similar. Let's test this one out again, and we're gonna build up our intensity. I'm gonna show you what it's like when she can actually play the deck a little bit longer, and then you can build up that commander skill points, and then see how that works. So it does have a long cooldown though, so it's not like every single shot, every single turn you can use it. But let's go ahead and try this out. So you need 6 card decks. Yeah. So let's see. Magic Man, you have Halloween. Ultimate Form is the first card, and that's your recycled deck from the last Green Commander. Yeah, so this is... I mean, it wasn't too long ago when I recommended this as a deck that people should consider getting, because I thought that it was going to be the strongest Ultimate Form for a long time to come. I didn't realize that they were going to completely invalidate these type of decks by introducing the whole notion of... having relics that break the shields, that is going to end up, if you don't do it, then you have no damage and all of those things. It's I didn't expect it at the time, and so now the meta really has been changing a lot, and so it's unfortunate. But we're gonna let's see how we do here. All right, so I'm gonna try and activate this because I need to. The only thing is I keep having to do power gem swaps in order to get the earth gems to I guess I'll just keep doing that because I need to attack with my full team. That's how I can get the That's how I can get this to go quickly. So I guess that is the most effective way. So Devilish Duel will work, I think, just because the only thing is you're gonna have to build it up. Like you have to build up your skill points, and if you can get to 300 skill points, that's where you can maximize your total number of power gems that you can create. You can create up to 27 power gems if you can get up to 300 commander points. And so it's a matter of surviving, really, and also being able to do this in a 20-second clock fight, right? So that's going to be the challenge. Like typically, I think, in a 20-second fight, you're probably not going to be able to do that much. So the goal is to get to like 120 or 150 would be ideal if you can't get to 300. All right, so let's go ahead and try this out now. So now that we are at 160, we're gonna go ahead and activate these two, and then let's just take a look, right? So we're gonna go ahead and do an attack here. So we're going to build up our light power gems, and then let's take a look at 160. So it didn't actually override a whole lot. It ended up just overwriting the middle portion there. But at 160, it's creating about 14, right? So it's almost the same as the boss is gonna die. So it's almost the same as if you had ambush, right? And at this point, I guess the boss is just gonna die here. But you can see that like if the power gem spawns were a little bit better, like if it actually let's see how long is it's 4 turn cooldown. So let's see, we might be able to do a little bit better here, assuming that we don't end up killing the boss outright. Okay, so I think we can do this. All right, so we just need one more turn here, and then we will be able to activate everything. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see. You can use shields and aim for 2/3 board of the power gem 20s. Yeah, but the thing with like shields, like the more shields you have, the lower the damage output you're gonna have, and that's gonna be an issue. All right, so let's see. So that's a lot better, right? So you can see except we ended up overriding everything, but we do have a nice set of power gems at this point. So let's see how much damage this is going to deal. So like ultimately, like you really just need the one. You don't really need a whole lot. So you can see there, 9 trillion, 2.9 trillion, and I think 3 point something trillion there. So if you can get the commander skill points high enough, it definitely works. I mean, like it might be worth a shot just to see, like, without worrying too much about the shields and just kind of focusing on the commander points, like that might be okay. But what I'm showing here is Devilish Duel can work in a commander setting since it's your own boss anyway. So as long as you can be fast and build up the and build up that what I was trying to say and build up that skill point, it should work, provided that you can deal with chaos. What's nice here is Devilish Duel and the Count, they both dispel chaos, and so you also have that cover, right? So chaos is really the one that's going to become a little bit of an issue, although not really, because this is not really one of those decks that depends on you having all of your actually it would. Chaos definitely will kill Afterlife Alliance, so I take that back. Chaos is going to be a pain to deal with, but we've got Afterlife Alliance that dispels chaos. We've got Esh the Replendent dispelling Weaken. We got the Count dispelling counterattack, and we have Devilish Duel dispelling chaos. And so the hope is we can at least cover everything, and Intrepid Voyagers also dispels blind, right? So we sort of got everything covered here. And so these two setups can work without the event deck at all. It's not going to probably deal quite as much damage, obviously, as the full event deck. But if you're looking for alternatives, this would be it. Right? So you definitely have some options there. And like I said, the Count, you can get the Count, or you can get Sabrina as the cards in the Proving Ground store, so you can forge the Devilish Duel. It's still a good deck. I could actually get myself a 2-star, and it will eventually be available in the Drillfist Depot, and so I could also get that to 3 stars at some point, so I can use this. So as much as I would really like to be able to get the deck, like I would really like to try and get the ultimate form. I think that if I really wanted to, what I could do is I could just try for the deck, try for the card over this event, and then just craft the other one. Or if I were to craft one of the two, it would be just the Master Collection card, not the ultra rare card, but the Master Collection. And so Prozac deck, the deck is great in Gilbert's skill if you need a stronger Earth attack team. Yeah, so that is definitely an option that you can go with. And the thing about, now I'm going to talk about the card I just got, because I don't think a lot of people would realize this since this is such an old card. So if you take a look at the Generation 2, if you take a look at the card that I just got, which is Hanzo, this card was a card that allowed you to drop a ton of gems. Okay, and so what's really nice is if you have this card, and it has a 2-turn cooldown. So if you use this card, and you use a card that gives you this, if you use this, and then you use another card that gives you the destroy all the cards on the board. For example, Big Bad Wolf is one. What you basically can do is you can sort of get around gem silence. All right, and so I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So it's gonna be a Warden. Okay, so Big Bad Wolf is one of the earlier Wardens here. This ability gives you, destroys all the gems on the board. There's also a card, I think it was a commander event. I don't have that deck though. It's the one where like they're the humanoids, right? I think the Master Collection card, they destroy all non-earth cards every single turn at the beginning of the turn, right? You can also use you can also use the Rogue Slayer ultimate form for Earth, but it has a cooldown. It has a 3-turn cooldown, whereas the Big Bad Wolf has a 1-turn cooldown, right? So this has a 1-turn cooldown. You can destroy the gems every single turn. You can increase the gem fall every 2 turns. So then if you have 2 of those cards, you can do it every turn. You can stagger it. And then what you do is you put in a card that gives you immunity or turn delay. You can use either turn delay or you can use immunity. And you can basically just kind of like use that to charge up your cards, and then you can just nuke them down. Okay, so that is the power of that kind of deck there. But I can't showcase it right here, but because I don't have all those decks. But I guess if I really wanted to, I could. It's just that not everybody's gonna have it. But it just reminded me of that old deck where like, hey, how do you get around gem silence is by using not by gem spawn, like you can't passively spawn gems, you can't use your battle skills to spawn gems, but you can destroy gems and have them match, and that is how you get around it. So let's see. All right, here the Devilish Duels deck is going to be available in the Drill Fist in 5 weeks. Yeah, so it will be available next season basically. And the last Beast Killer Earth Commander will destroy gem. The last Beast Killer Earth Commander. Last Beast Earth Commander. Did I have that? The last Beast Earth Commander. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I was thinking of. So I don't have that deck. This is the one where the Vision of the Void. Thank you very much. That's the card that I was thinking of that would passively destroy every single round. And so if you have a card that gives you, Gemfall, you're going to be able to fill up your board with gems so that you could charge up your skills, and then you can use that. Okay, so that is sort of another way to go about it. I'm gonna I'm not gonna focus too much of my time talking about that particular strategy, but it's just something that came to my mind. Anyways. Back to sort of my summary of this particular deck here. I don't have it, so it's unfortunate. But if you take a look at the spawn abilities, 7 gems every single turn. And Master Collection card is definitely better, right? So 7 gems every single turn, I think is not too bad. you'll probably need to have 3. You'll probably want to have Ultimate Form, Master Collection card. If you can get the shiny, that's probably ideal. If you run those 3, I don't think you need the ultra rare card. Then you can sort of like, bring in your other cards that can give you a chaotic boost and also off affinity. So sirens, right? Bringing sirens is going to probably going to be helpful. If you don't want to use the Guild versus Guild deck, then you can take a look at my Might setup, which I've called, I think, Team Setup 1 and Team Setup 2, although this one is going to be changed to Intrepid Voyager. So it's going to be Earth Slayer. Okay, so this is going to be this setup. So you can take a look. You can take a look at my cards at Team Setup 1 or Team Setup 2 for some ideas for non-event deck possibility. So this, I think, might be capable of taking down at least Ruby, if not Platinum. Like, as usual, I will test out these decks when the event starts, and I'll let you know. So let's see. So Crusade. So for Crusade decks, I generally like decks that can passively spawn every single turn. That's the reason why. That's why this event deck is going to work out well. So like if you have the event card, that's going to work well because you can spawn every single turn. But yeah, like honestly, just go with Druids is not a bad idea either. So like what I do is I would just go ahead and say, well, let's take a look. So bring in Intrepid Voyagers if I need to. I probably don't need to because it's in Crusades. I probably will. I will probably just bring in. I'll have to think about it because I think ideally what you want to do is you want to use the event deck's ultimate form as an ally. Then you want to bring in your ultimate form. You want to bring in like a commander deck. So if I were to talk about commander cards, definitely bring in your event cards if you have them. Ones that have a lot of spawning ability. Really, I think you're right. I think Druids is not a bad choice. If you can, especially if you can bring in a Slayer ally for the Chaotic Killer. If you want to do Corellium, I'll test it out. And I'll see, because Corellium Crusades can be difficult if you don't have the right setup. But I think that using one that can go wave after wave is going to be the best. And Prozac, if you have Earth Crusade Scrolls, make sure you have them. So for those of you who don't know what that is, if you take a look here, is it in gear? I think it's in gear. Was it last Halloween maybe? Or maybe 2 Halloweens ago? We got these scrolls. And I didn't use them, right? No, I didn't. So there are these scrolls that you can use that increases the amount of damage for Earth Commander. And so what this does is it doubles the multiplier. It doesn't necessarily double your damage, but it doubles whatever commander multiplier you have. And so this is going to also increase your damage. So if you're having a hard time, you can also use this. I save them for reasons, because once it's gone, and so I try not to use them. But you can definitely use that just to try out if you want to. Okay. Anyways, so that's going to be it for me for today. Sorry I couldn't show you the full deck, but my personal feeling is that this deck is not too bad, just because of its short cooldown. If you find yourself really wanting this deck and you want to use your coins, then get the Master Collection card. And otherwise, use some other decks to try and get through the solo bosses as I've shown, and hopefully that helps you out. So that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for your time. Take care, and I will see you in the next episode. All right, take care now.